Welcome to Kung Fu Epic number 2. This is not a smile of happiness and joy. Trust me, I'm still highly pissed off. If you haven't watched the last 2 videos, well, I was remaking a video, and I had an incident with fecal matter from an animal. So, I'm going to give you this story that I've told you at least once before, and it was the video that I was going to delete, or I have deleted. So I'm going to tell you what I was telling. So I had the short sticks in the video. These ones here. They still apparently have fecal matter on them, so I have to go and clean them off. So, the long and short of the story was, I was talking about how a weapon is an advantage that can be taken from you at any time. And then I got into how when I was 16 or 17, I was jumped by 2 cats at Kegler's. So, in the midst of that, I had misspoke and said that the girl's fist was in the way of my face, or whatever, but that was wrong. What I meant to say was, her face was in the way of my fist and his face. And I don't know how she did it, because she was at least 2 paces behind the guy. But she's a flash, and she got him away. And so I didn't hit him. I didn't hit her. And they got up and they left. The point of the matter was, you know, I was jumped by 2 cats on my job. And the other point, by the end of the story, my coworker, who was a ginger, watched the shit go down. Now, the reason why I was telling this story is because I was mentioning in the video that I deleted that a weapon is an advantage that can be taken from you at any time, and that you make the weapon does not make you. That's where I was going for. That's how I got this. Because when the guys jumped me, he had just threw away a beer can. It was underage drinking, and it was at Kegler's, and it was 2 white guys versus the mixed guy. And the 3rd white guy was supposed to be my friend, but he was their friend, and he wanted me to show them some moves, which wound up deciding that they were going to choose to just jump my ass and see if I was full of shit or if I was the real McCoy. They found out that I was the real McCoy. That's pretty much where I was going with that. But in the video, I also talked about pressure points and that they do work, and this size does not matter, because the bigger you are, the harder you're going to hit me. I know this as a fact because I've been hit by some pretty big guys, and they've hit pretty hard. I don't like getting hit, but in a fight, you're going to get hit. I still won, even though those guys was bigger than me. I showed them that dynamite comes in small packages, and the whole thing was, I was training with somebody, and they had a weapon, and I took it from them because they didn't know what they were doing with the weapon, which is why my policy is really simple. When you go to a fight, you go unarmed. You go with what God gave you, your skill level, these damn things right here. And if you can't fight, a good run is better than a bad stand. However, if you have nowhere to run, then your bad stand, you need to fight to survive, not fight to win. There is a difference, people, believe me. UFC people, they fight to win. They fight for a paycheck. People in the streets, we fight to survive because that's what we do. Now, I'm not bragging on street fighting. I'm not saying it's better than the UFC. Anything that doesn't involve a paycheck is not good anyway. But for all medicinal purpose, in my youth, I street fought until I was 12, from the age of 6. My dad put a stop to that shit, and I never fought again unless it was in self-defense. And then after that, I didn't get to fighting again until I was 15. Then I got to fighting for a whole week, and then after that, nobody bothered me until we moved over here where I had to choke a guy out in the park. These video stories are all up. They're all true, and they're all up. I'm not bragging on my skills. I'm just telling the fucking shit that happened. Because some shits, you remember it this way, the person you fought remembered it another way, and the person who actually watched it remembered it this way. And I brought that out because when you're in combat stress, you're only focused, you're in tunnel vision mode, and you're only focused on surviving that fight, and you're only focused on winning that fight. And that's for all fighters, whether it's the UFC, point karate, or whatever. Your target is your only focus. What's going on around you, the crowd and all that, you're not paying attention to that shit. Now, until you get used to it. Once you get used to it, then you can multitask. But once that damn bell ring, your only task is hit the guy across the field with bad intentions, because that's what he's thinking about doing to you. Now, before I stepped in that poop, I had discussed that your weapon is an extension of your skill level. But if you've only been trained with weapons, and those are your only skill levels, then your ass is in trouble. Because you have to be multifaceted as a martial artist. Alright? I'm not saying that as like bullshit, I'm not saying that to pick on people. I'm saying that shit because it's a fact. You have to be multifaceted as a martial artist. You have to be. You have to know something about weapons. If you don't know anything about weapons at all, you need to know something about weapons. You need to know how these weapons work. how these weapons work. As you can see, the shoes match the outfit now. If you are not multifaceted, God, I just got dizzy. If you are not multifaceted or multitaskable in your skill level, you have a problem. Back of the line for you. Now, it sounds like a load of shit coming out my mouth, and if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. As a martial artist, I'm going to tell you firsthand. Belts hold up your pants. They don't make you great martial artists. They give you a little bit of rank. They give you a little bit of recognition. But what happens if someone who is a ringer or an ace in the hole comes in with a white belt, 7th degree white belt, but he's actually a 1st degree Dan? Alright? Now, he's not on paper as a 1st degree Dan. For those who don't know what that is, after you get past a certain amount of belts, you start becoming Dans. I don't know when that came in. It also depends on the style of martial arts. Alright? When you get a 1st degree Dan or whatever, I'm probably not even saying the shit right, because I don't believe in that shit. I think the belt system is bullshit, but it is what it is. I'll make another video about that later. But when you get into such a high rank, because when I was in school, I met a 12th degree black belt. She said she was a 12th degree black belt and she was a master of weapons. But when I started spouting off weapons that I know how to work, she's never fucking heard of them. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say she's not a 12th degree black belt. I'm not going to say she's not good. But if you don't know what the fuck a bow staff is, what weapon did you start with? And some people don't start with a bow staff. I didn't take that into consideration being 16 and this young lady was like 24, 25. Doesn't mean she wasn't good. But here's the thing on your craft. When you hone your craft, you're going to be good at it. But there's always going to be somebody who knows something about a martial art that you don't know. I didn't know the Philippines had a martial art until 2 years ago. Alright? I still don't know the name of the damn thing. But I know about Kempo. They're basically the same damn thing. But Kempo focuses on pressure points, hits being strikes, and strikes being blocks. And then pressure points. You know, where to hit, how to hit. Same thing with Kung Fu, because Kung Fu doesn't teach you how hard to hit, it teaches you where to hit. Where Karate teaches you block and counter, and how to use their momentum against them. Same principle with Judo, where strength is not a factor, where someone's coming at you at full running gallop, boom, boom, you're using your speed and their momentum, and your knowledge of strikes to get them. Well, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu teaches you, you're on the ground, you learn side mount, side guard, what you can do in those positions, how to get out of side guard into an arm bar, how to get out of side guard into full mount and full guard. Those are things that they teach you, alright? Am I good at that? Fuck no. That's why I don't like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, only because I'm not good at it. Am I going to say it's a horrible martial art? Yes, I am. But it's only horrible to me, because I'm not good at it. Do I hate Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Nope. Don't hate it. But I can tell you like this, you have to get me on the ground to use your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And if my stand-up game is like that, and you can't get through my crescent kick, let me demonstrate. For those who have no idea what an inside to outside crescent kick means. So we're standing and you're coming and I, boom, and you can't get past that. And that's the only kick I do for the whole time. Every time you come at me, boom, you know, and I rock you to that side. Or I do it with this leg, boom, and you go this way. If you can't get to get down for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have to get me down on the ground for that shit to be effective. Alright? If you can't get me down, that shit's not effective. You have to get me on the ground. Now here's the thing. Some of the Kung Fu I know has taught me how to defend on my back. Alright? Which means you still gotta work to get to your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. To make that shit work for you, you have to actually be able to get to me to get that shit to work. Which means you're gonna have to dive up, and my defenses could be like that. If my defenses are like that, you're not going to land where you can effectively use your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to fight me. Now, if I know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a good roll. You probably will tap me out. Probably not. You don't know until it happens. You know? But you also have to remember that it could go the other way and I could tap you out. Now, here's where I have the advantage if we're going to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Alright? So, you got me a side guard, and you're about to put me in the arm bar that extends that way. Now, I'm trying to lock it and clasp it. And you have both your legs across my chest and my neck. So, I got options if I stop trying to clasp it and just let you have the arm. Because you're going to try to hyperextend my elbow to make me tap. So, if I roll with it and drive my forearm into anywhere in here and drop dead weight on that, you're going to be thinking about how you're going to get off of that or try to really hyperextend the elbow. I ain't worried about that no more. Because I got you where I want you now. Because now I'm about to be on top. I'm about to be either on side mount or full guard. Because you were already on side mount when you got me here. And I'm rolling over to get on top of you. Alright? So when I get on top of you, I just got on top of you in either a side mount or a full guard. Now, I don't have the upper body strength to pick you up unless an adrenaline rush happens and I can pick you up and slam you. I don't need to do that because pressure points here, I'm just going to keep pushing my arm into you while you're trying to hyperextend that shit. And if I free your arms from around your legs from around my neck, I can simply just put your ass in a crippler crossface. Or I can simply put you in a toe hold or something and drive my legs into the back of your knees where there are pressure points. There's an escape to every move. You just have to figure it out. You also have to have a good pain tolerance. And if you don't have a good pain tolerance, tap, save your arm. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't see that coming, but yeah, tap, save your arm. It's not worth it. You know, but in a street fight, your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is going to be useless against me. Because the second that you're coming in like this, you're eating a knee. You're eating a knee. I took some Thai fighting. I took some kickboxing. You're eating a knee. If you don't eat a knee and you get me, you're going to eat an elbow in your spine, in your solar plexus. You are going to get an elbow somewhere down your central line, depending on how you get me. Now, if you're straight forward or more one way or another, is going to be the deciding factor of where that elbow is going to come. Now, if I panic, you're going to dump me and slam me. You know, fight's yours if you can knock the wind out. But since I know that most people like to slam little guys, they don't like to slam the big guys. They like to slam the little guys. I'm already prepared for that, so I'm already adapting in the fight. And that's the key. In a fight, above all else, no matter how good your hand skills or your feet skills is, the one thing that must be more important than all of that shit combined is your ability to adapt on the fly. So I'm going to end with that. I want you to think about that shit. Your ability to adapt on the fly is your lifeline in a fight. It's just as simple. You can have little to no skill, but if you can adapt in the middle of a fight, you're going to win. But you have to be able to adapt. Thanks for watching. It's Kung Fu Havoc number 2, BC and you.